Hello, everybody, and welcome to our presentation on Obamacare and individual health insurance options in Georgia for 2016. My name is Rajesh Jyotishi, and I will be your presenter today. We have a lot of very interesting information for you. But before we get started, just a quick little disclosure. The information I'm about to share with you is general in nature and is not really meant to be specific insurance or financial advice. You really should consult with your insurance broker or financial advisor before making such decisions. Also, keep in mind that the rules that we're discussing here can change, and health insurance laws can also vary from state to state. Just 1 minute about myself and my firm. I've been a resident of Atlanta for about 40 years. I've been in the insurance and financial services industry for about 25. I was one of the founding partners of Cover magazine. I am no longer a part of the magazine. I sold my shares a couple of years ago, but I still do host the MoneyWise section in the magazine. I am also a registered representative of Dempsey Lord Smith and an investment advisor of Dempsey Lord Smith, LLC. Our firm, Shaolin Financial, it focuses on four main areas: insurance, investments, financial planning, and employee benefits. On the insurance side, we do life, health, disability, long-term care, Medicare. On the investment side, we're a full-service firm. And on the employee benefit side, we do large and small group health plans. If you want to know more about us, just visit us on the web, and you can get product details as read each one's bios as well too on shaolinfinancial.com. With that said, let's get started with our presentation. Open enrollment for individual health insurance this year will be from November 1st to January 31st. This is the time frame when we can make plan changes, apply for new coverage, compare additional options that will be on and off the exchange. You see, it used to be that you could apply for individual health insurance any time of the year, but not anymore. Now, with the new rules, you have to apply during open enrollment periods unless you qualify for special enrollment. And that could include like loss of group health benefits, moving into a new area, gaining new immigration status, so on and so forth. The tax penalties are going up for not having the minimum essential benefits that is mandated in 2016. The new penalties will be 2.5% of your yearly household income, which is about $695 max for an individual, for an adult, and $347.50 per child under 18. The maximum penalty for a family using this method is about $2,085. So it's pretty expensive not to have, creditable coverage and pay the penalty. Now, there are some people that are exempt from these penalties, and it's a very interesting read to see what all those type of exemptions are. It could be, if you're incarcerated in jail, or a U.S. citizen living abroad, if you're homeless, if you have a bankruptcy, you've had a death of a close family member, and so on and so forth. If you think you may be eligible for any of the exemptions, the best thing to do would be to go to healthcare.gov, look at all the different type of options, and see if you qualify. And you will also have to download the form and apply for the exemption as well. So let's get started with some of the good news. Who can get health insurance? Well, good news is that most everybody can get health insurance, providing you're a legal resident. Pre-existing conditions are no longer considered, so just about everybody, with no matter what health issues you may have, can get a health insurance policy. Maternity is included on all plans, and people over age 65 who are not eligible for Medicare can get coverage. Now, this is a big deal because just a couple of years ago, if you were age 65 and over and not eligible for Medicare, even if you were in excellent health, we really did not have a lot of options for you. But now, not only can you get coverage, in some cases, you can even qualify for the tax credits and subsidies. So the next question is, who can qualify for the tax credits and cost sharing? The basic rules are is that you have to be a legal resident, whether it be a green card holder, U.S. citizen, and there are other certain visa types that are acceptable. You have to go to healthcare.gov and see if yours is acceptable or not. You must file a tax return in this country, whether it be individual or joint. You cannot be eligible for a group health benefit plan, and you cannot be eligible for Medicare, Medicaid, or other federal health programs such as Veterans Health Care. And the other very important thing is that your income has to be within the federal poverty level guidelines. And this is a very important chart for us. This basically shows, who is going to qualify for the subsidies. So when somebody calls us up and says, we want to see if we're eligible, this is the chart that I go to. Basically, what we're looking for is the number of people in your household and what is your household income. If you're saying that there are 2 people in my household and our income is about $25,000, I know that the minimum is $15,930. And if your income is around 24, you would be eligible for some subsidies. But if you say, my income is more than $65,000 per year, which is outside the guidelines, then pretty much I'd have to say, unfortunately, you're not eligible for the subsidies, but we can help you find other coverage that off the exchange if you like. So let's talk for a minute what is considered a household. A household is all the people that are included on your tax return. That includes your children or as well as any other dependents that you may claim. So if your parents are living with you and you claim them as a dependent on your tax return, they're included as part of your household. So then the income requirements for that also changes. So let's say if you have a family of 4, a husband, wife, 2 children, and your parents are staying with you. So now the income requirements are for 6 people in that household. So the minimum requirement is roughly about $32,570 with a max of $130. If your income is anywhere between that, you may be eligible for tax credits or subsidies. If you're outside of that, unfortunately, you would not be. Let's also take a look at what income is included. And pretty much, just about all type of income that you get is included, including your taxable wages, your tips, your self-employment income, unemployment income, Social Security, retirement plans, alimony, capital gains, investment income. But right now, the only thing that they do not consider are your assets. But income is the main thing that they're really looking for. Now, if you want to know how much subsidy that you're going to get, what I would recommend is just give us a call. We can do a quick calculation for you and give you an idea of what type of rates that you can get as well as benefits that you can also get. Now, there is an issue. There are certain people that are not eligible for tax credits because they don't make any money or very little money. See, originally what was supposed to happen was that people whose income was below the minimum requirements were supposed to be taken care of by Medicaid. But Georgia and a lot of other states are not expanding their Medicaid. So unfortunately, they're not eligible for any Obamacare subsidies. And if they're not U.S. citizens, or they may also not be eligible for Medicaid. So what often happens for people whose incomes are too low, they get sent to Medicaid or Peach Care. Peach Care is usually for children under 18, and Medicaid can be for individuals as well as adults. Now, the challenge with that is that Medicaid and Peach Care have an income as well as asset test to qualify. There are also citizenship requirements. So many times you have somebody who is a green card holder, you may not be eligible for Medicaid. And for children who have not been resident here for a certain number of years may not be eligible for Peach Care. So what are the options for people who are not eligible for Medicaid or Peach Care? Well, one is pretty obvious, is that you can purchase health insurance off the exchange and not get the subsidies. The challenge is this, that the rates are high. Here's an example of a family of 4, with the husband being 40, wife 38, 2 children 15 and 13. With a company like Coventry with the $37.50 deductible, you're looking at a rate of $735 per month. For a company like Humana with the $42.50 deductible, the rate is about $798 per month. Now, these rates are also expected to change next year, and unfortunately, they're going up, as you may expect. But the benefits are also being enhanced in some ways, in some cases are actually in our favor. But here's an example of what happens when someone is eligible for subsidies. Because what happens is that when your income is low enough, not only do you get tax credits to help pay for your health insurance, but you also get what is called cost reduction. So say like in the Humana 4250 plan here on the right, where if for somebody who is not eligible for the subsidies, they would have a $4,250 deductible. But for somebody who makes $24,000 per year as a family, they would get the maximum benefits allowable, and they would have a $500 deductible. And look how much tax credit and subsidy that they get. They get about $718 per month, and their cost becomes like $79.95 per month. For a plan like Coventry with a zero deductible and a $20 for specialty visits, no charge for primary care visit, the rate is actually about $16.69 per month. So there have been quite a few people that have benefited, pretty significantly with the Affordable Care Act. And there are also a lot of people that have been actually hurt a lot just because you're paying significantly higher rates for health insurance than you did previously. But anyway, not much we can do about those things. So estimating your subsidies. So you can either go to healthcare.gov and they have online calculators there that they can do it for you, or just give us a call. We'll take down your information, take down your household information, and give you actual quotes and estimated subsidies. Now, there are quite a few people that have been already on the marketplace plans over the last several years, and the time is coming up for renewing your coverage. Most policies on the exchange will auto-renew, especially if you've elected to use your tax information from previous tax returns. But if you haven't, you do need to go on there and choose your plan. Now, we think it's a great idea for you to do it regardless. To go to your account online and update any information. If you have any new estimate of income for 2016, go in and make the plan changes and choose a plan which is right for you. Because, like I mentioned, the plans are changing, the rates are changing. Why leave it up to chance? And if you contact us, we can also help you pick a plan that's right for you as well, too. Some of the problems that we've experienced over the last couple of years on the exchange is that sometimes somebody will lose their tax credits. And most probable causes are there's inconsistencies in income. You may have estimated your income to be $25,000 per year, but you ended up making only $10,000 per year, which is not enough to qualify for subsidies, and they consider you not eligible. Or you did not send in your income details. You didn't send in your pay stubs or your tax returns or proof to that you are getting income. You may have forgotten additional income. You forgot that you have rental income that's coming in or Social Security income, so now it pushed you over the threshold. Or you did not file your tax returns on a properly basis. The result when that happens is that you had to pay the full premiums on your own. And that could be a pretty big deal, especially if your premiums are, say, $1,000 per month, where in certain cases we had where they were paying $1,000 per month, and now they saw $1,000 per month being charged on their credit card or they're taken out of their checking account. It can really mess up your finances if you're not prepared for those type of things. So it's very, very important that when you get the eligibility notice from the marketplace, that you do send in the required information on a timely basis. Now, just because you send it in last year doesn't mean you may not have to send it in again this year. If they ask for it again, be sure you send it in again this year too. The other common problem that we've seen is that sometimes people will lose their coverage altogether. And most of the time that is due to them not sending in the required immigration documents, whether it be citizenship certificates, green card copies, Social Security cards, whatever else it may be. Other times it's a mismatch of data. For example, on their application, they may have put Praveen Patel, but on the Social Security card, it may show Praveen Bhai Patel. So you have to make sure that the name that you put on your application on the marketplace is the same name that is shown on your legal documents. You can reinstate your coverage, but oftentimes it just takes time because now you have to send in the documents. It takes time for them to receive them, validate it, and then allow you to reapply at that time. So it's better to make sure that you send the documents on a timely basis, because we have had situations where people go to the doctor and find out that, hey, they have no coverage, and unfortunately the insurance company did not notify them, and neither did the marketplace. So when you mail in your documents, be sure to include on all your papers, whether it be if you're sending in your citizenship certificates, green card copies, tax returns, whatever it may be, on all papers, your name, your date of birth, your Social Security number, your address, as well as your application ID, which is usually on your eligibility notice. Because if those papers were to get separated, they have to be able to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. So what are some of the changes coming up in 2016? Well, unfortunately, rates are going up. So we will be comparing all different plans that are out there and see what is available on and off the exchange. The individual maximum out of pocket is also going up to $6,850 for an individual and $13,700 for a family. In 2015, the maximum out of pocket was $6,600 and $13,200 for a family. Now, some of the insurance companies are removing some health plans, like the platinum health plans. They're going to be removed, and they're going to be trying to map people into the gold plans. Some insurance companies are enhancing their benefits. Some companies are expanding their networks. So it is a good time for us to compare different plans and options and see what is a good choice for you for the upcoming year. Now, how can we help? Well, some of the things that we do is that we help you determine if you're eligible for your tax credits. We compare plans for you on and off the exchange. Email you plan comparisons, product brochures, check to see if your doctors are in the network, and make recommendations based on your personal situation. For example, if you have a child that is out of state, you want to make sure that there is a network available for him if he has to go to the doctor or so. We also help you enroll in the plan over the phone at our offices, whichever you prefer. Usually takes about 15-20 minutes for us per enrollment, and help you upload any necessary documents directly to your account so you don't have to mail the documents if you don't want to. And we're there for you on an ongoing basis. Now, the interesting thing is that the health insurance industry is not like the travel industry. So, there is no extra cost. There is no extra discounts for you if you go to the insurance companies directly. But when you do use a broker or an agent, you do get some extra service and also our expertise to guide you to figure out what plans are best for you on an ongoing type of basis. So with that, let's go ahead and address some questions that you may have.